Rise and shine. You're watching WCTV Eyewitness News. The Good Morning Show starts now.
3 teens behind bars now accused of trying to steal a car in the Killearn area. Now residents are calling for action.
Plus, a vacant plant in Thomasville now getting a revival and could provide over 200 new jobs to the area. And
Wow, well, remember this woman here with the green wig? How can you forget? Well, she is once again making people smile with her love for the Baja Blast. We'll have that in your Good Morning Social.
All right, let's talk about more of this heat. Temperatures that are supposed to start in the 60s or even cooler than that. Instead, we're staying up over 70. We're at 70 in Thomasville, 72 Valdosta, 73 for Tallahassee. There are some clouds around. We'll have some early sunshine. Hopefully, we'll find enough scattered showers this afternoon to slow things down. But I think we are looking for another day up over 90.
thank you, Rob. Well, 3 teens are now under arrest after a scary scene over the weekend in Tallahassee's Killearn Acres.
People in that area say they are relieved. They had been on edge since the suspects were caught in the act trying to steal a white SUV on Saturday morning. The owner of that vehicle posted his experience on Facebook. Neighbors shared it, and they believe that helped police to nab the suspects.
In this community, you have a lot of hardworking families and with children, and you know, they do everything they can for their families to keep them safe. And when this kind of thing starts to happen, yeah, it makes us all angry. And they need to go.
The teens are accused of stealing guns and several other items. People in that neighborhood are now wondering if the community is doing enough to deter teens from committing these types of crimes.
Alicia Turner is following that part of the story.
Take a listen as shots ring out in this home surveillance video following a weekend burglary. Turns out the car firing the shots was full of teens.
I was really shocked, honestly.
Here we are again, back at the same spot again. It's very disheartening.
The arrest of those 3 teens clearing 16 open cases.
Young people are looking for something to do.
Local pastor Rudolph Ferguson says the key to stopping these sorts of crimes start at home, but the community plays a major role as well.
We all need to be addressing as a village and as a community, how do we get this young kid to engage in something positive? How do we get him home and make sure he's tired when they get home from other programs that might be effective for him?
The Tallahassee Police Department says another component is emphasizing the consequences.
It takes community effort to make sure that we're teaching our juveniles not to do these serious crimes and that there are consequences for them, and a lot of them follow you for the rest of your life.
We do need to do something about just kind of controlling expectations of what kids think they can and cannot do.
Yes, we're back at the same drawing board again, and we're going to probably stay at this drawing board because there's always going to be a new breed of teenagers coming into play.
While that won't create immediate answers, Ferguson says it's enough to start moving in the right direction.
As it relates to the investigation, the state attorney's office has not decided yet whether the teens will be tried as adults.
An update now on the explosion at a plant in Taylor County. The second worker injured in that incident has died. The sheriff's office says 56-year-old Thomas Fowler Jr. passed away at a local hospital. He was critically injured in the explosion at Amtech Less Lethal Systems outside of Perry. Another worker, 42-year-old Christina Patterson, died the day of the explosion. The state fire marshal's office and ATF continue to investigate the cause of the blast.
A vacant plant in Thomasville is getting a second life. The Caterpillar factory closed nearly 2 years ago, leaving about 200 people without jobs. Now the city's payroll development authority says a new company is taking over that facility. Thomasville officials are not releasing that company's name, but they say it is a firearm magazine manufacturer that is planning to set up its headquarters in Thomasville. The city says the business will add 230 new jobs. The name will be released when that paperwork is finalized.
It is 6:04 now. Time for your Good Morning Social. Well, we just showed you some video of a woman singing about Baja Blast. Well, it was part of a vigil that you see here back in January. About 100 people showed up at a Taco Bell because it was closing, and they were singing about the drink and carrying on about how much they love the store. Well, that Taco Bell has now reopened almost 9 months later. And yes, the Baja Blast woman She was there for the grand opening. Her name is Ashley Portis, and she showed her love for the beverage, all of it. Wait a minute. Take a look at that.
Okay.
She even did a dance this time.
All right.
Wow, she put on a show. I hope she got free Baja Blast for life. She deserves it after that performance.
I'd say
Don't
so
you think?
too.
As she does.
She does. She put it all out there, I would say.
Literally,
Put it out
everything.
there. All right, an emotional reunion in North Carolina. Jack Denton, who is handicapped, thought he could ride out Hurricane Florence when it hit his town of Zebulon. He has to swim out of his home, had to do that at the last minute, leaving his 2 dogs behind. Rescuers were able to locate the dogs, though, AC/DC and Babes, on a roof. They were able to return the dogs back to Denton thanks to social media. So how about that?
That's sweet. And look how happy those dogs are to see him.
What a
Oh, they
reunion
know.
right there.
They know.
Look at that.
They know they're humans, don't
They
they?
sure do.
Nice.
Very, very
That
good.
is very nice.
All right.
Very nice.
I don't know if I've ever been so excited about the reopening of a Taco Bell, though, or anything else.
It
for
hasn't
that matter.
moved
My
you to
gosh.
song and dance?
It has not moved me to song and dance or to put on
green
spandex.
wigs.
And
Green wigs, too.
haven't done it.
We're thankful you're not wearing
Yeah,
spandex. That's beside the point.
Yeah.
We've got lots to get to weather-wise. It's going to be hot again. Oh, boy. 24-hour temperature cast still wants to try to keep us in the 80s, and we've got a shot. It all depends on how early the showers get going. These past couple of days, not early enough. We do keep getting up over 90 every day but once for the entire month of September. And we've got a shot to do it again today, so it's going to be real close. And I think after today, it won't even be that close. We should have less trouble getting up over 90 the next few days as we slim down some of the shower chances after today. Now, visibility at Tallahassee Airport is down to 3 miles, so we do have some fog out there, but we're not talking widespread, dense fog. And we can see where the cooler air is, and it's not that far away. I mean, even up in parts of Tennessee, in parts of Arkansas, this is where some of the more seasonable air is behind this boundary. But out ahead of it where we are, still awfully warm, still awfully humid, and really very little helping out push that cooler air in our direction to give us any kind of change. Now, there are clouds, there are showers. There's a bunch of activity over parts of the Gulf of Mexico. So we've got things trying to get going. I just don't think they're going to be able to get all the way through here. And they're worried about flooding rains in parts of the Tennessee Valley all the way to the mid-Atlantic, where they're going to get more rain today. For our area, the radar's pretty clear this morning. I think we'll have some of those pop-up showers like we've been seeing. Not everybody gets wet, but let's put the rain chances around 60%. The issue here for the next few days is going to be the heat. Each day, guys, I still think we're going to get up over 90.
All right, 6:07 right now, still ahead with so many leaks, hacks, and data breaches. Companies are now trying to do more to make sure your private information stays private.
Now, federal lawmakers are looking to step in. We'll take a closer look at what they're doing next. $6:10 now. Uber has agreed to a $148 million settlement over data breach where hackers stole the personal information of Uber drivers. Lawmakers on Capitol Hill are now looking to create legislation that would protect consumers' data.
But some worry it may not go far enough. Mola Linghi reports from Washington.
Tech giants, including Amazon, Twitter, Google, and Apple, faced a Senate committee looking to crack down on data privacy.
The question is no longer whether we need a federal law to protect consumers' privacy. The question is what shape will that law take?
Tech companies have self-regulated these issues for decades, but Europe and the state of California created new rules forcing businesses to disclose the type of data they collect and let customers opt out of having their data sold. The industry fought against the measures.
Chairman Thune.
Google said massive resources were used to comply with the new European rules.
I assume it was certainly into the millions. It was orders of magnitude higher than any figure that you've mentioned, sir. Possible unintended consequences.
A vice president from Amazon said the California law was developed too quickly,
resulting in some provisions that ultimately do not promote best privacy practices.
All the companies said they support data privacy and federal legislation.
Yes, Senator.
Mr. Enright.
Yes, Senator.
A strong law.
But Senator Edward Markey worries a watered-down federal law could supersede and weaken rules in California and other states.
We don't need to pass weak laws.
Consumer advocates are also frustrated that senators only invited the tech industry to the hearing.
This is extraordinarily important that they hear from the actual consumers who are subject to data breaches.
But the head of the committee told me this is just the beginning.
We're going to hear from other groups on this issue, so we're not done with it yet, but I thought this was a good start.
The committee will hold a hearing next month and hear from consumer advocates. Mo Lulengi, CBS News, Capitol Hill.
That's about 6:12 right now. Coming up, Supreme Court nominee Brett Kavanaugh and his first accuser meet face-to-face today.
We'll have a live report from Washington, D.C., where the two will testify before the Senate Judiciary Committee. That's next.
WCTV Pinpoint Weather with meteorologist Rob Nucatola.
Well, good morning, everybody. Radar pictures not super active this morning. Got a couple of little spots up against the Taylor County coastline that we've seen a shower or two this morning. Did have some activity yesterday afternoon, last evening. Most of it's moved away, but we are still trapped in the same air mass, and that means it's still ripe for more scattered showers. I'm counting on plenty again this afternoon. We're at 70 to get started in Thomasville, 72 in Valdosta. We're at 73 this morning in Tallahassee, way warmer than it's supposed to be. We're at that point now where upper 50s, not uncommon. We can't get some upper 60s across the region. That's how warm it's been, and 86 is the normal high. We hit 92 yesterday. No reason we can't get back to 92 again today, all depending on if we can get the showers going soon enough. Warm spot this morning, Apalachicola, where it's still 81. Blakely, the one spot back in the 60s, everybody else between 70 and 76. I do see a little patchy fog around Tallahassee Airport. Visibility's down to 3 miles. We're likely going to find some more of that with all this moisture in place, with the air being so humid. Yeah, fog, definitely one of the things we're watching for. We can see the back edge to the clouds and showers from parts of central Texas, Oklahoma, and up through Arkansas, Missouri. That's about as close to us as that drier, cooler air is going to be. Big rains across the Tennessee Valley expected again today, right where this boundary is parked, and it can't make a lot of progress east or south because we've got a little bit of high pressure off the east coast staying right where it is. For the next couple of days, this boundary going to stay right where it is. So our air mass does not change, and we stay here in summer-like weather. I think it's going to last into and throughout the upcoming weekend. We might even start to dry out a little bit over the next couple of days, which likely means temperatures can climb a little bit farther. Scattered showers, yeah, they're part of the forecast each of the next few days, but I think they're going to be higher today than they'll be tomorrow, which will be higher than they'll be on Saturday. And as we start to slim down some of those rain chances, not remove them, just slim them down, I think we're looking at even higher daytime highs, farther into the 90s and for longer periods of time. Still summer for sure. On the Gulf today, winds out of the south and southwest 8 to 16, just a little bit breezy. We're doing the low tides next after 10 a.m. 70s this morning, call it partly cloudy and warm. Best chance for the most sunshine early. Rain chances up to 60% for this afternoon. We shoot for 90, I think 91s, 92s where we could get to. For tonight, the showers fizzle. It stays warm. There'll be more patchy fog tomorrow morning, and we're going to do it all over again tomorrow. Yeah, I know. Come on, fall. Doesn't look like it's happening, guys. Not this weekend. Maybe next week. Maybe.
6:17 right now. Developing story out of Washington, D.C. today. Supreme Court nominee Brett Kavanaugh and his first accuser, Dr. Christine Blasey Ford, are expected to testify today before the Senate Judiciary Committee.
CBS's Mola Langi is live in Washington, D.C. right now following this story. Good morning, Mola. So what do we know this morning about the new allegations that were made public last night?
Well, good morning, guys. Yeah, these new accusers over the last 24 hours that we've learned from a few new accusers, one from Colorado, one from California, one from Rhode Island that has since been recanted. All of these new accusers were brought to the attention of various lawmakers here on Capitol Hill. And it should be noted that according to these lawmakers, all of these accusers were anonymous. No identities, no contact information, no corroborating witnesses. And lawmakers have asked Judge Kavanaugh about these accusers. He has dismissed them, as he has dismissed the three previous accusers who have made themselves known. He has called this a smear campaign and said it is, quote, out of the twilight zone.
All right, Mola, this confirmation process, including the accusations, actually seem to have fallen along party lines. Of course, Democrats calling for a delay in the process, more specifically on the confirmation vote itself. Any chance of that delay happening?
At this point, that does not seem like it's going to happen. It's hard to see that happening at this point. Democrats are saying, let's slow this process down. Let's gather more information. Let's get more facts. Let's ask more questions. Perhaps let's allow law enforcement to get involved. The FBI has been tossed into this. They're basically saying, what's the rush to confirm? Let's get as much information as we can, especially considering the gravity of these allegations that are being made. But Committee Chairman Chuck Grassley, who has made a forum available, he has asked for these accusers to come testify. He says that he wants to hear from them, but he also insists that a vote needs to happen and that he wants to see it happen tomorrow.
All right, again, Mola Lenghi reporting for us live in Washington, D.C. this morning. Thanks for that, Mola.
All right, of course, we will have coverage of those hearings right here on WCTV, gavel to gavel today.